Thanks for hearing from my channel. Please like, subscribe and support us if you feel interested. Empowerment Arc Chapter 12 Preparing Our Environment. The monsters really grew these past 3 days. How shocking. This is what you call evolution, huh? Does receiving a name prompt evolution? Come to think of it, Veldora had mentioned something about names. Something about nameless and named monster. I see. For a monster to get a name is for them to become a named monster. So their stats increase, and the result evolution. I see, that's why they were jubilant. That also explains why I used up so much power. Monster evolution is absurd. Rather than growing up, it's probably better to say that they became a different being. The goblins' eyes sparkle in delight, reflecting their profound wisdom, and directed at the females. What the hell? They actually look feminine. I'm so surprised I can't even scream. EHH? I couldn't believe my eyes. Though they were small monsters, resembling monkeys. The males became hobgoblins. The females became goblins. Thus they evolved. According to what Rigurdo said, they heard the voice of the world. This is the great and rare evolution that I've heard legends about. Is how excited he was when he told me about it. The goblin females used to be covered from head to toe, but due to the evolution some particularly voluptuous parts are visible. The walls are jealous of your figure. Tilda is a joke I can no longer say. The males are certainly happy. And they aren't wearing much either. I guess of the 3 necessities of life, we'll have to figure out clothing first. And then there's the Ranga problem. He's been so happy with my recovery, that he doesn't leave me alone for even a second. And while I can't say I don't like the soft fur, I'm more of a cat person. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate it. So, Ranga, I only gave you a name, so why did the rest of the pack evolve? That's right. As soon as I gave Ranga the name, that unpleasant incident occurred. My beloved master. We of the Fang Wolves are, many as one. The name you bestowed had become the name of our species. I see. A shared name, so everyone evolved. According to him, the previous Alpha did not favor this principle. If he had, that battle might have gone a little differently. Oh, and with regards to that, Ranga seems to have secured his leadership in the pack. And thanks to that, the species changed from Fang Wolves to Storm Fang Wolves. So to summarize, they've gotten stronger. Is what he wants to say. Seems like he wants to be praised, so, well done. And he happily waved his tail. As you'd imagine, if a 5-meter monster starts waving his tail, you'll be blown away. Funnily enough, a scowl is enough to make him dejected. The problem, however, was in the wolves' care. Since becoming pairs, the wolves and goblins live together. Or rather, for lack of housing, the goblins use the wolves as pillows. Clothing is an issue, and so is housing. So, what to do? There was a mountain load of food in front of me. So with regards to the nourishment, that answered any concern. It seems that at the same time as I ran out of magical energy, everyone began to evolve. And, after it finished a day later, they decided to celebrate together. However, as I was still continuing my recovery, they only continued to gather food. So during recovery, although I could feel being caressed, I could not sense either the evolution or the party preparations. Lowered activity state makes me surprisingly defenseless. Have to be more careful. However, to wait for my orders even in those situations that is praiseworthy. It seems that their intelligence increased during evolution. Perhaps the spirit is affected greater than the body. Originally, the goblins would hunt and gather the food, and so survive. Now, with the wolves' help, their habitat has greatly increased. What is more surprising, however, is that the goblin-wolf pair can use telepathic communication. They have become the wolf-riding goblins. Thus, the wolves no longer are just an addition to our fighting strength. Goblin, a monster which had never won before, has now become an expert hunter. And the amount of food they procured over 2 days is the proof. However, there is a problem. Life dependent on the fruits of the forest is rather uncertain. I'll have to teach them crop farming sooner rather than later. I guess I need to start by looking for a good crop plant. Maybe rice. I'll keep an eye out. For now, let's just thoughtless enjoy the party. And so that day, in celebration of their evolution, the bottle's end, my recovery, the banquet continued long into the night. And the sun rose again. Everyone had gathered. There are many things to do today, but I must first convey the most important matter. That is, the rules of this village. Those must be decided in the very beginning. Any community requires rules. A natural notion for the Japanese people. A rule is something that protects, not something that is protected. Some adults, me included, used to joke like that, but that is currently unimportant. I have thought of 3 basic rules. At the very least, I want to keep these 3. Any other rules they can make and enforce themselves. Has everyone gathered? In that case, I'll announce the rules. There are 3, and I want you all to solemnly swear to uphold them. Having said so, I announce these rules. 1. Do not attack humans. 2. Do not fight comrades. 3. Do not look down on other races. So are the 3 rules. With extra thought, many more rules should be added, but they will be hard to uphold at first. For me personally, I established the most important ones. Now then, how will they react? Is this fine? For what reason should we avoid fights with humans? So asked Rigor. In response, Rigordo glared at his son with a furious expression. Does he understand my intentions? They really should take it easy once in a while though. Simple. I like humans. End of story. I see. Understood. Eh? He understood? Wait a second. That easily? But from what I can see, everyone is content with my explanation. I thought there would be more displeasure with that rule. I guess being wrong once in a while is a good thing. Well. Humans live in groups, you see. If you reach for them, they might answer with force. It would be difficult to survive if they came at us seriously. And so, meddling in their affairs is strictly forbidden. And besides, it'd be better if we got along with them. I had nothing else planned, so I decided to also tell them the official reason. Of course, I love humans is the real one. I was a human, after all. Hearing my explanation, Ranga deeply bowed. Anyhow, I got what I wanted. He must have his own reasons to avoid humans. Additionally, the hobgoblin's expression also read, "We hear and obey." Anything else? Do not look down on other races. What would that mean? Oh, well, you guys have evolved and gotten strong, right? So getting arrogant and acting high and mighty before weaker races. That's what it would mean. Even if you have gained some strength, don't mistake it for absolute power. Wouldn't it be silly if the one you put down grows stronger and takes revenge against you? Everyone listened with enthusiasm. Seems like everything will be fine. And in the future, even with this warning, some are bound to disobey. Even so, I'd be happy if this prevents even just a few incidents. And that's that. Do your best to follow these rules. And that is how I decided this village's new rules. However, a tragedy would later be born from one of these rules. Of course, I had no way of knowing at the time. I am not omniscient nor possess precognition abilities. Everyone nodded in acknowledgement. With this, a new chapter began for our community. Now then, after the rules, we discussed division of labor. Those who are on lookout duty. Those who search for food. A team for gathering raw production materials. And a group for structure and equipment maintenance. I left the lookout duty to the Stormfang wolves due to their telepathic communication. There were 7 wolves without a pair. Well, considering that Ranga was clinging to me with all his might, there were 6 I guess. I left the observation to them. I'll leave the details to the village chief Rigordo. Rigordo, I'll have you become the Goblin Lord. Govern the village with pride. Frankly, I'm just giving him all the responsibility. That, in particular, is the one thing I truly want to avoid. However, I also want him to think about it. I used to work as a simple general contractor. Ruling is not for me. And besides, I'd rather not get bogged down at this village and miss the opportunity to visit human ones. I must be adamant about this, even if I have to force him. However, this unworthy one shall happily accept this great honor. Getting choked on tears, he readily accepts. Good. I'd rather be the leader in name only. The sovereign reigns, but does not rule. Good advice, in my opinion. If need be, I'll voice my thoughts. But really, Rigordo. This unsteady and wrinkled old goblin with one foot in the grave had become a robust and muscular hobgoblin. On a good day, would he be stronger than his son Riguru, I wonder? Geez, monsters really do keep surprising me. Yup. I leave it to you. Oh, and by the way, I've seen your method of building houses. You suck. Frankly, I can't even call those houses. What an embarrassing topic you bring up. To tell you the truth, we have never had the need to build large structures before. Right. Well, you've increased in number now. Oh, and about clothing. There are too many holes. Anything you can do about that? We have been dealing with a few groups regarding that. Surely. Their members would be capable of procuring clothing. Moreover, as skillful as they are, they would surely know house building. I see. As a person from general contractor services, I myself have some experience, but I am at a do-it-yourself level. I am not a jack of all trades and there is a limit to my abilities. If we meet those partners, perhaps we could hire somebody. Not like we lose anything by asking. Alright, it may be beneficial to go and ask them. So, what did you use to make the deal? Gold? No, we did trade some items and belongings we got from adventurers, but that is not an option. Rather than money, we'd barter, do odd jobs, and thus slowly collect enough money for the trade. All the equipment we own we received from them. Oh? So, what race are they? The dwarfs. Dwarfs. The expert blacksmiths, the famous race. We must go. In the first place, while the goblins' clothing definitely needs replacement, their armor is likewise falling apart. And although the armor is sure to last far longer than a rotting cloth, the sizes just won't fit. So that's another spot for improvement. However, we don't have any equipment, dropped by adventurers, and no money. What to offer in a trade? Nothing comes to mind right now. I'll go to them. Rigurdo, can I leave preparations to you? Please leave it to me. I shall have everything prepared by noon. High tension Rigurdo. I'll leave this to him. He'll probably scavenge around for remaining funds, too. This world's currency, ha! I'll laugh if it's paper. Come to think of it, I, myself, know nothing about it. If I plan to visit human cities, I must at least know about their currency exchange. Well, let's ask the dwarves about this. So, while the goblins are busy with construction, shall we leisurely visit the dwarfs? And someday I'll visit a human city. From what I hear, the dwarfs live in a pretty large city for a demi-human, that is. They also seem to have crowned a king, not that the goblins could ever meet him. In the first place, just entering the city is an impressive feat. Discrimination towards goblins. I wonder if this'll go well. I, for one, am but a slime. Hopefully they won't be too surprised. While I am worried, I also expect a lot from this visit. It's been a long time since I was this thrilled. Status name: Rimuru Tempest species. Slime divine protection. The Storm Crest titles. One who commands monsters magic. None skills. Unique skill, Great Sage. Unique skill, Predator. Slime-specific skills: Dissolve, Absorb, Regenerate. Extra skill, Water Manipulation. Extra skill, Magic Perception. Acquired skills: Black Serpent, Heat Detection. Noxious Breath. Centipede, Paralysis Breath. Spider, Sticky Thread, Steel Threat. Bat, Ultrasound Waves. Lizard, Body Armor. Wolf, Supreme Sense of Smell, Telepathic Communication. Coercion, Resistances. Thermal Fluctuation Resistance X. Physical Attack Resistance. Pain Resistance. Electricity Resistance, Paralysis Resistance. Thanks for hearing from my channel. Please like, subscribe and support us if you feel interested.